have a thing every month.
I'm going to say, what do we want? Say, good contract. What do we want? Good contract. When do we want them? Now. What do we want? Good contract. When do we want them? Now. What do we want? Good contract. When do we want them?
They might actually have it for like
I don't mind that.
If we don't get it, 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 shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. That's right, we'll shut it down. How many people want an 8-hour day still? All right, what do we want? 8-hour day. 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 When do we want it? Now. When do we want it? Now. When do we want it? Now. When do we want it? Now.
Yeah,
If we don't get it, shut it down. 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 That's right. That's real worker power. What do we want? Healthcare. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Healthcare. When do we want it? Now. Healthcare. Now. What do we want? Healthcare. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Healthcare. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Healthcare. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Healthcare. When do we want it? Now. How about pensions? How many are you going to do? What do we want? Pensions. When do we want them? Now. What do we want? When do we want them? Now. What do we want? Pensions. When do we want them? Now. What do we want? Pensions. When do we want them? Now. Yeah, we're ready to retire. So. Immigrants built Milwaukee. Immigrants built Milwaukee. Get up, get down. Milwaukee is a union town. Get up, get down. Milwaukee is a union town. Get up, get down. Milwaukee is a union town. Get up, get down. Milwaukee is a union town. Now! This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy sounds like. This is what democracy sounds like.
Straight up don't know how to do it. It's been like a
That is why we have to fight. 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 That is why we have to fight.
Retirement is the right.
That is why we have to fight.
Retirement is the right.
That is why we have to fight.
Retirement is the right.
That is why we have to fight.
Retirement is the right.
That is why we have to fight. Stand up like that.
something clerk.
Stand up like that. Stand up like that. Stand up like that. Stand up like that. Stand up like that.
That's cute.
Stand up like that. Stand up like that. Stand up like that. Stand up like that. Stand up like that.
Not for war. Not for war. Not for war. Not for war.
NLRB itself was unconstitutional. And they ended up being fired.
Milwaukee is a union town.
Get up, get down. Milwaukee is a union town.
Get up, get down. Milwaukee is a union town.
Get up, get down. Milwaukee is a union town.
Get up, get down. Milwaukee is a union town.
Everywhere we go,
Everywhere we go,
people wanna know.
people want to know who we are. So we tell them we are the union,
The mighty, mighty union.
mighty, mighty union,
Fighting for justice
fighting for justice
and fair contracts.
and fair contracts. People want to know. Who we are. So we tell them.
We are the union.
We are the unions.
The mighty, mighty union.
Mighty, mighty unions.
Fighting for justice.
Fighting for justice.
And fair contracts.
And fair contracts.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When workers' rights are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When unions are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When unions are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When unions are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When Donald Trump is on the attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
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 What do we do?
Stand up,
fight back.
What do we do?
stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back. Immigrants built Milwaukee. Immigrants built Milwaukee. Immigrants built Milwaukee. Get up, get down. Milwaukee is a union town. Get up, get down. Milwaukee is a union town. The workers united will never be defeated. The workers united will never be defeated. The workers united will never be defeated. The workers united will never be defeated.
All right, I got a new one here. I'm going to say union busting now, okay? Say Donald Trump, go away. Union busting now, okay?
Donald Trump, go away.
Union busting now, okay?
Donald Trump, go away.
Union busting now, okay?
Donald Trump, go away.
Union busting now, okay?
Donald Trump, go away. Donald Trump, go away.
Say one day longer, you said one day
One day stronger. 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 One day stronger.
What?
disgusting?
Union busting!
What's outrageous?
Poverty wages!
What's 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 disgusting?
Union busting!
What's outrageous?
Poverty wages!
Who built Milwaukee?
Immigrants built Milwaukee!
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 You know who built Milwaukee? Unions! Who built Milwaukee?
Unions built Milwaukee!
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 What do we want? Worker rights. When do we want them?
Now!
What do we want?
Workers' rights!
When do we want them?
Now!
What do we want?
Workers' rights!
When do we want them?
Now!
What do we want?
Workers' rights!
When do we want them?
Now!
What do we want?
Workers' rights!
When do we want them?
Now!
What do we want?
Workers' rights!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Workers' rights!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Workers'
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want? When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Workers'
When do we want it?
Now!
Let's finish it up with an old-fashioned fact. It's our day.
8-hour day! 8-hour day! 8-hour day! 8-hour day! 8-hour day! The 8-hour day! The 8-hour day! The 8-hour day!
If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
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 shut it down,
Shut it down!
shut it down.
Shut it down!
How you doing, police major?
Okay.
Oh, go ahead, honey.
I can zoom from here, I think.
Thank you, honey. Oh, hey,
Anybody else here?
like, how would you supposed to get back to
So you're at the
Elm Grove, Wisconsin. Can you imagine the worst place? I guess that's worse. Sure.
Maybe if I want to go over there.
all right. How's everyone doing today? All right, good afternoon. My name is Andrew Wareheim. I am the Education and Organizing Coordinator, Milwaukee Area Labor Council. I'm also a member of OPEIU Local 9, AFSCME 1954, and a proud member of the Milwaukee branch of the Industrial Workers of the World. And thank you. I have the honor of being your MC for this event. So first of all, let's give another round of applause to the Raging Grannies. Leading us off in song to get the program started and warming us up. Is everybody stretched and ready to go? All right. Thank you, Raging Grannies. We would also like to acknowledge John Ebersol, who is in the crowd today. John was instrumental in having this historical marker erected some 38 years ago. So let's hear it for John. So, welcome to the 140th anniversary commemoration of the Bayview tragedy, an event that occurred right here on May 5th, 1886. On that day, the state militia fired on some 1,500 workers who were marching in a nationwide campaign for the 8-hour day, killing 7. This massacre is one of the most significant moments in Wisconsin labor history. Today we remember those 7 martyrs as we recall when a group of organized workers, many of them Polish immigrants, marched on the iron and steel mill located on the lakefront in Bayview, carrying a general strike to the workers at the plant. Let me hear you say general strike.
General strike!
In the days before May 5th, the strike had closed virtually every major factory in Milwaukee as part of the nationwide effort to bring about the 8-hour day. And much of this work was done through unions like the Knights of Labor. Our tragedy here occurred one day after Chicago's Haymarket Affair that killed at least 8 persons when a bomb was thrown into a rally of workers the night before. Yeah, boo! Shame. The Bayview plant was the last major employer that was still open for work, and the marchers wanted to shut it down. Yeah, that's right. They found instead the state militia waiting along the hilltop on the mill grounds. The marchers were marching up East Bay Street from Lincoln. And the state militia was about 200 yards away from them when the militia captain ordered his troops to fire. At least 7 people fell dead or dying. Thus ended the bloodiest repression of organized labor in Wisconsin history, and thus began a new chapter in the ongoing struggle for workers' rights. This struggle, as all of you know, continues until this day, 140 years later. Realizing that the masses of the workers in our society are still fettered by corporate greed, a diverse group of Milwaukeeans has commemorated this historic event every year since 1986. Yeah, and I'm sure many of you have been here throughout the years. By learning our history, we understand more about the enemies that we are up against right now, and we have the know-how and the courage to face them. As the slogan of the Wisconsin Labor History Society goes, the more you know, the harder you fight. Let's hear everybody say, the more you know, the harder you fight.
The more you know, the harder you fight.
This commemoration is sponsored by the Wisconsin Labor History Society, and it's supported by the Wisconsin State AFL-CIO, the Milwaukee Area Labor Council, and particularly the Milwaukee Area Labor Council's Young Workers Committee, and the Bayview Historical Society. The program is planned by a committee made up of members of the Labor History Society, trade unionists, the Bayview Historical Society, and area residents. We would like to thank all of those who worked to make this event happen, and would like to particularly salute Rich Hinderholtz, a retiree of CWA Local 4603, and David Krautkramer from DMK Sound Services for supplying the superior sound system. Additionally, we would like to thank the Young Workers Committee of the Milwaukee Area Labor Council for reviving the march that follows the same path that the 1886 strikers took. We want to thank them for their time, for their energy, for their passion, and promoting today's march in commemoration. and for continuing to build fighting unions here in Milwaukee. At the close of the program today, everyone here is invited to attend a post-event gathering at Puddlers Hall. There will be a musical program entitled Songs of Hope and Struggle from Bilge Tea Collective, featuring friends and comrades of mine, Andrew the Red, Sean Henley, Kayla Golden, Brian Trout, and friends. And next, I will introduce today's musician. The reenactment of the 1886 tragedy will begin immediately thereafter. Produced by Barbara Lee and directed by John Schneider and Bill Kornbach. When the reenactment is over, we will lay the wreath for the honored dead. So now we are going to continue, after that, we'll continue with our guest speakers rather, Juan Alvarez and Nikolai Gerda and the students from Fenwood Montessori. So let's get the program going with some good music. I'm going to introduce David H.B. Drake, one of Milwaukee's most popular folk singers and a retiree from IATSE Local 18. David has said, quote, "I had the honor of singing with Pete Seeger and Larry Penn when Patrick Cudahy was on strike. It was great to stand up for workers alongside these two classic singers and folk legends." As many of you know, Larry Penn performed Ghosts of Bayview at the first event here in 1986 and joined us every year until his death in 2014. Please welcome David H.B. Drake, who's going to be singing Ghosts of Bayview and the Plane Wreck of Los Gatos. And I'd also like to introduce our percussionist, Oju Charleston. Oju is Milwaukee's premier African drummer. She loves to uphold the history of African culture in the city of Milwaukee through the culture and the arts, and she's honored to be here.
It's quite an honor to be singing for you today and filling in for Craig Seamson, who usually has this gig, but he's off on the road right now, and especially trying to fill Larry Penn's shoes. So anyhow, doing two songs today, and woohoo, and we can turn that down a whole bunch. They chase us like outlaws, like thieves on the run. Well, Larry Penn's shoes are kind of big ones to try to fill. But, boy, I knew Larry for a long, long time. And I don't know how many times I came here when he sang this song. So, I guess I'm going to have to do it this time.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. So this one's for Larry. The years roll around and I on the page of the history of labor don't mellow with age. The blood of the workers will always run red when the winds blow the time for a change. The ground here is hallowed, it's haunted, they say, by the ghosts of the workers who came here in May. But the killing was soon and seen as a duty by some to put down the 8-hour day. And you, it's all quiet today, but you still get a call for an 8-hour day. The sounds of the rifles have faded away, the bones of the rolling mills gone to decay. Only the hall where the puddler's bed still stands like an 8-hour day. It's time once again for us to unite. It's time once again for labor to fight. Tell me, what will you do if your roses in rest, if they take back the 8-hour day? Here in Bayview, it's all quiet today, but you still hear them call for an 8-hour day. To all those that labor for bread, for corn and for bread, to all who give up the union for dead. The blood of the workers will always run red when the winds blow a time for a change.
Thank you for coming today. I was here on May 5th, 1886. I had to be working 10 to 12-hour days, was killing people, and had been for decades. And now there was a national effort to change that. Workers needed a voice in such basic issues as how many hours a day would work. The movement had grown strong. We were winning. 12,000 of us picked May 1st to walk out for the 8-hour day. On May 2nd, a Sunday afternoon like today. All of us strikers marched down Grand Avenue to a huge rally of 9,000 more workers at Milwaukee Gardens at 14th and State. The 8-hour day movement, that's what we called it, that's what it was. Powerful speeches were made at that rally by leaders such as Robert Schilling and socialist Paul Grotkow.
to Milwaukee Gardens in this glorious celebration of our accomplishments. We come here to celebrate May 1st, the day we no longer work for more than 8 hours in a single day. Last Friday, April 30th, 6,000 people left their workplaces to demand the 8-hour day. Yesterday, on May 1st, the Central Labor Union and the Knights of Labor joined to close the North Shore bakeries, foundries, and breweries to swell our strikers to over 12,000. Today's parade saw almost every working man and woman in Milwaukee participating. Tomorrow, the Polish workers of the Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul Railway have vowed to close the shops and to close the Alice Reliance Works. We even expect to close the giant rolling mills of Bayview before the day is finished. So I ask you, why all this fuss? Why should we walk away from jobs and provide bread for our families? The better question is, why should labor fill the world with wealth while we live in want? To work like a slave, see your wife and children in rags, to rise at 4 a.m., work for 12 hours, throw our tired bones on the bed at night, to live without leisure, without rest. This isn't a living. This is dying a slow, torturous death until exhaustion takes its toll with the loss of a job, a limb, or a life. The hours of work must be shortened. 8 hours for work, 8 hours for rest, and 8 hours to do what we will. The 8-hour day. 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 8-hour day.
We strikers were in the thousands. But there were powerful people against us. Politicians and community leaders like Milwaukee's Mayor Emil Walber, Edward Alice, the owner of Alice Reliance Works, and the loudest of them all was our own governor, Jeremiah Lusk.
Mister, get over it.
We can have no sympathy with socialist voices that deny the right of private property. They are as un-American as monarchy and as treasonable as secession. Republican institutions and individual liberty go hand in hand, and they must and will be loyally maintained. These strikers would destroy justice and liberty. The present agitation is not a question of wages and hours, but of human rights and manhood. Of the owner's rights to run his factories, and the workers' rights to sell him their time and labor. When one person engages to work for another, the product belongs to the employer. The workman's claim ends with the receipt of his stipulated wages. Every citizen must and will be protected in the management of his business. Here in Milwaukee, you harbor agitators who have been driven from the fatherland for violation of laws. Now they believe they will be permitted to violate the laws here, to incite mobs and riots. Such men should not be permitted to promulgate their doctrines in this glorious state of Wisconsin among her industrious, law-abiding citizens. The intelligent people of Wisconsin will never permit the red flag of anarchy to float within her borders. And so I say to the commanders of our militia, whenever the time comes for you to tackle a mob in this state, I'll be there, and you'll get your orders from me.
The next day, May 3rd, we set out to close the factories.
8 hours for work, 8 hours for rest, 8 hours to do what we will. 8 hours to do what we will. The 8-hour day. 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 The 8-hour day.
When we got to the rolling mill, we were met by the militia, made up of grocers, storekeepers, saloon owners, people we thought were our friends and neighbors. Governor Rusk sent them to Bayview to stop us. After confrontation and militia warning shots at the rolling mill gates and office, around 350 militia entered the grounds. Without provisions, we dispersed. But not for long. On Wednesday, May 5th, 1,500 of us started out early for the Bayview Mill. We promised to close the mill for good if the owners wouldn't respect our demands. We knew the politicians and the mayor were against our 8-hour movement, but we didn't imagine the lengths to which our governor, Jeremiah Rusk, would go to stop us. None of us was armed. We walked 4 abreast down Mitchell Street with a banner and a picture of a clock face set at 8. The 8-hour day. The 8-hour day. The 8-hour day. The 8-hour day. From St. Stanislaus Church, we walked toward the mill, but the militia was waiting for us. When the governor was notified that we were heading to the mill in full force, he sent these orders to the militia captain. Fire on them! And so the captain told his forces, pick out your man and kill him! Shoot him where he stands! Seven of us were shot in the street by fellow citizens for marching in the line. Casimir Dudek, age 30, was carrying the red flag at the head of the march. He was shot in the left cheek and arm. Half of his lower jaw was carried away by 2 bullets, and he died shortly thereafter. Albert Gerson was shot through the abdomen and killed at age 19. Martin Jankowiak was 25 years old. He was shot through the chest. Extreme unction was administered to the dying man by Father Lewansky. Frank Kunkel, age 69, lived in a little shanty on South Bay Street. He was shot through the heart while feeding the chickens in his yard. He left a widow and 1 child. He wasn't even in the march. Johann Maschke was shot through the bowels. He died in great agony. He was 24 and left a widow and 1 child. Frank Nowarchuk was just a schoolboy, a bystander, age 13. He was shot through the upper abdomen by a stray bullet. Michael Rukowski was shot through the breast and died shortly thereafter. He was 40, married, and had no children.
At this point, we're going to observe a final moment of silence as Wisconsin Labor History Society President Emeritus Ken Germanson and Painters Local 781 member Lee Moniel lay a wreath in memory of those killed in the Bayview Massacre. Thank you. At this time, it's kind of the interesting juxtaposition, but let's applaud again the actors, the directors, the volunteers, the musicians who participated in the dramatic program today. At this time, we are pleased to introduce today's speakers. Juan Alvarez first joined Ironworkers Local 8 in April of 1996. He serves on both the executive board and examining board of Local 8. He has been an instructor through the local for about 13 years. He is involved with the Milwaukee Area Labor Council Veterans Committee, LACLA, and historical societies in the area. He has also started an Ironworkers Local 8 Historical Society, which currently shares labor history films with the membership. Immediately following Juan Alvarez and joining us today is Mr. Nikolai Gerda and the 6th grade student from Milwaukee Public Schools Fernwood Montessori. These students recently completed a project on the Bayview Massacre, which included researching the topic and creating an original dramatic rendering of the event. Mr. Gerda and his students will be sharing with us what they learned about this important history immediately following Juan Alvarez. So everybody, let's hear it for Ironworkers Local 8, Juan Alvarez.
Friends, siblings, workers, I'm Juan Alvarez with Ironworkers Local 8. We stand today on the ground that is paid for in blood. Take a look at your hands. Look at the scars and the calluses, the grease under your fingernails that never quite comes out. We are workers. We know what it means to carry the heavy weight. But today, we aren't talking about the weight of materials and tools that we carry. We're talking about the weight of history. Specifically, the weight of what happened just a few miles from here. Back then, if you worked in the mills, you weren't a person, you were a piece of equipment. You worked 14-hour shifts in the heat and the soot under your, until your lungs gave out, or a machine took your arm. There was no safety gear. There was no overtime. There was just work, sleep, and an early grave. We often hear that rights we enjoy fell from the sky, or were even given to us by the kindness of the powerful. But we know the truth. We know that every weekend you spend with your family, every hour of rest you get after a hard shift, and every safety guard on a machine was written in the ink of struggle. Today, we look back to May 15th, 1886. We look back to the rolling hills of Bayview, where the smoke of the North Chicago rolling mill met the clear blue of Lake Michigan. But on that day, the air wasn't filled with the sound of industry. It was filled with the sound of a heartbeat. 14,000 hearts beating as one, demanding a simple human right. 8 hours for work, 8 hours for rest, and 8 hours for what we will. They weren't asking for the world, they were asking for a life. In 1886, Milwaukee was a city of bone-deep exhaustion. Men, women, and even children were being ground to the dust of the mills for 10, 12, 14-hour days. When the call went out for a general strike, the city hummed with a new kind of energy. It was a beautiful, terrifying sight for the bosses. Polish immigrants, German craftsmen, and American-born laborers stopped looking at their differences and started looking at their shared chains. They marched from the city center toward the Bayview Mills, not with guns, but with banners. Not with hate, but with hope. But the state didn't meet them with a handshake. They met them with the gleaming steel of Wisconsin National Guard. Imagine it. You're standing there with your brothers and sisters, unarmed, just asking for a fair shake. And out comes the order from the commander. Pick out your man and kill him. And on that Tuesday morning, the order was given, shoot to kill. They didn't fire a warning shot. They opened up on a crowd with Springfield rifles. 7 people died. One was a 13-year-old kid just watching the commotion. Another was an old man in his garden. They were cut down right there in the dirt. The bosses thought by spilling that blood, they could wash away the Union. They thought if they broke a few bodies, they could break our spirit. Well, take a look around you here today. They failed. Every time we construction workers fire off our fall protection, that's Bayview talking. Every time we look at a paycheck that reflects our worth, that's the blood of 1886 paying us back. Those 7 people didn't die to give us a holiday, they died to give us a union. They tried to bury us, but they forgot we're the ones that build the foundations. We're the ones that bolt this world together. When they try to steal your overtime, remember Bayview. When they try to break your union and tell you that you're better off standing alone, remember the 14,000 who marched together. When they try to turn worker against worker based on where they're born or the color of their skin, remember that the bullets in 1886, they didn't care about your accent, they only cared about stopping the movement. The fight for an 8-hour day wasn't just about time, it was about dignity. It was about the radical idea that a worker is a human being, not a line item on a balance sheet. The ghosts of Bayview are watching us today. They are in our union halls. They are on our picket lines. They are in every breath we take of a free Saturday morning. We do not honor them with just a plaque or a moment of silence. We honor them with noise. We honor them with organizing. We honor them with refusing to give back one single inch of the ground they bought with their lives. Stand up. Reach out to the worker next to you. Let the world know that the spirit of 1886 didn't die in the dirt at Bayview. It lives in us. It breathes in us. And as long as we stand together, we will never be defeated. Solidarity forever.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nikolai Gerda. You might recognize that last name. I grew up in this grass watching my father speaking up here, John Gerda. I remember that vividly. Shout out to John over here somewhere, holding my daughter. I remember that vividly, but I remember drinking orange soda at Garibaldi's across the street even more. So as you heard, I'm a teacher at Fernwood Montessori, which is a Milwaukee public school. We participated in a national program called National History Day, and a group of 5 sixth graders, 2 of whom couldn't be here today, Henry Mankey, Louis Hoynatsky, and Brady Kovtun, and then the other 2 are Lucas Arenas Lopez and River Hall. The 5 of them chose to work together, they chose to write a script, and then they chose to focus on the baby massacre as their topic. They wrote a 10-minute skit, they did a deep dive into research, they interviewed my dad several times, they worked with people at central office and library resources to build as many facts into their skit as they could. They participated in the regional event and won state there. And last weekend we were in Madison on the UW-Madison campus. They were one of 12 groups to compete for the national award, national championship. They did not make it that far, but I'm incredibly proud of this group of 5 students. And they should be very proud of themselves. So what they really wanted to do was to do their skit for you. But it was decided that there's already a skit. So why perfect something that's been going on so well for so long? So instead we're gonna share our experience with you. They're going to answer some of the questions that arose during their research and try to explain their process a little bit more. So I'll ask the questions, we've worked on this a little bit, and whoever wants to step up to the mic, whoever's answering the question can do so right away. First question, why did you want to study this history in particular?
Well, because it's a really local event that happened like right here, which is about 2 blocks from where I live, and it's a really emotional and significant event in our history. And just the thought that the completely unfair working rights that workers had, and that they only got to see their own children about once or twice a week, it really inspired us to work further on this. And that you all probably know more about this than we do, that really inspired us to know what made Milwaukee into what it is now.
Thank you, Becky. What about the baby massacre story surprised you?
How the militia were people who volunteered to shoot their neighbor. How would you feel if you had to shoot your good friend? Or imagine protesting, then you see your neighbor pointing a gun at you, waiting to fire. Although how a boy only 1 year older than us was a victim in the shooting.
Where did you find your sources, or what sources did you use?
We rely a lot on John Gerda, well, our teacher's dad, and he helped a lot with like the information and with the actual skit itself. And we also use newspapers on the websites, and we also use other secondary sources like books, teachers, and other stuff. And we also, the social studies coach for MPS, Kayla Zielinski, helped us with the sources and the actual performance itself.
Why does the Bayview Massacre matter to the bigger picture and to the labor movement as a whole?
It became a larger labor movement when innocent people turned it into a powerful party, which led the government to believe that it is their job to take care of people. This party was called the Socialist Party of Wisconsin.
What should everyone know about the Bayview Massacre?
How it was a truly tragic event where 7 people were shot by their own neighbor's fire while fighting for the 8-hour day. Not just for them, but for everyone. And 7 were killed, but 60 were wounded. Also, not only was a 13-year-old boy shot, but also a retired worker watching from his front lawn.
Thank you, boys, so much. Round of applause for all of you. So these guys have been studying the labor movement as a whole through this research, but our class is also putting on a production of Newsies, which is also a citywide general strike in New York City, in the same era, fighting for some of the same things that this protest was about. So I am steeping my class in woke liberal agendas. Thanks for having us.
General strike.
All right, let's hear a round of applause for our speakers one more time. To conclude our program today, I'm going to introduce Wisconsin Federation of Nurse and Health Professional, Local 5000 Vice President, Gavin Rice, for an important ask.
More than I deserve there. Well, as said, my name is Gavin. I'm a member of WFNHP. I work at St. Francis Hospital just over this way. I'm just taking the mic here to let you guys know how much it means to all of us involved that you're here today. Because it is a really important day in history. And it's really important that we remember this day and that we use this day to take this history and push the next generation forward. Because that's why we do this.
Absolutely.
This event... That's right. And actually, I'm going to take a pause in there and have us give another round of applause to those 6th graders. That was amazing. So this event, of course, doesn't spontaneously spring into being. So every year, we rely on your donations to keep this going. So this is that ask. In just a couple minutes, people are going to come through the crowd with hats and bags, and they're going to collect donations so that we can keep this going every year to remember this day. We thank you all for your generosity, and once again, thank you all for being here today.
All right, so as the hat is passed, feel free to reach into the pocket and put a little something in there. I'm just going to make some final announcements as the hat is passed. We want to recognize some people that are in the crowd today, including Chris Larson, Christine Sinicki, Ryan Clancy, Jack Ekblad, Stephen Shea, Marina Dimitrievich, Joe Costa Zamaripa, Angelito Tenorio, who's my rep, and David Crowley. Let's hear a round of applause.
And Francesca Hong, right on your head.
Oh, and Francesca Hong. It's written on my paper. I swear to God. Thank you. And if there's anybody I missed or there's somebody next to you want to shout out, here's your chance. John Gerda's here, folks.
And there's Pepe.
What's that? Joe Costa Zamaripa. All right, so I want to say thank you to everyone who helped out with today's event, our volunteers, our speakers, our musicians, David H.B. Drake and Oju Charleston. Let's hear a round of applause. I also want to remind you of something very important, that at the end of this gathering, there is going to be a gathering at Puddler's Hall. The bar is about 3 blocks that way, west of here, on the corner of East Potter Avenue and South St. Clair. I also want to let you know that Wisconsin Labor History Society will be holding its annual conference next Saturday, May 9th in Milwaukee. We have registration forms that are available at the merchandise table. Registration is also available online. This year's conference theme is Labor and Democracy in the Age of Authoritarianism, so pretty apropos. And our speakers are going to include the Executive Director of The Nation magazine, John Nichols, as well as Minnesota AFL-CIO Organizing Director, Todd Dahlstrom, who will be speaking about the Minnesota labor movement's participation in the Minneapolis resistance to ICE. And at this time, I want you to get your singing voices ready as David H.B. Drake comes up here to lead us in the singing of Solidarity Forever. Okay, I also want to mention Lee Jang Young, who's here as well. Can we get a round of applause?
Hopefully what you have in your programs is the same thing as what I have here. Okay, let's try it from the chorus. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. When the union's inspiration through the workers' blood shall run, there can be no greater power anywhere beneath the sun. Yet what force on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of one? But the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. They have taken untold millions that they never toiled to earn, but without our brain and muscle, not a single wheel can turn. We can break their haughty power, gain our freedom when we learn that the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, oh the union makes us strong. I'll wait for them. I mean, you know, the Harley Davidson workers made some money on them, so fine. In our hands is placed a power greater than their cold, greater than the might of atoms, magnify the south and gold. We can bring to birth a new world from the ashes of the old, for the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, oh the union makes us strong. One more time. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity
good.